Youcat, question number 288. Is man responsible for everything he does? Man is responsible for everything he does consciously and voluntarily. No one can be held responsible for something he did under coercion, out of fear, ignorance, under the influence of drugs or the power of bad habits. The more a person knows about the good and practices the good, the more he moves away from the slavery of sin. We see that in Romans chapter 6 verse 17, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 22. God desires that such free persons should take responsibility for themselves, for their environment, and for the whole earth. But all of God's merciful love is also for those who are not free. Every day, He offers them an opportunity to allow themselves to be set free for freedom. St. Augustine would say, the good man is free even if he is a slave. The evil man is a slave even if he is a king. Dante would say, the way to the goal begins on the day when you assume full responsibility for your actions. Question number 289. What must we allow a person will, even when he decides in favor of evil? Question number 289, once again repeated. Must we allow a person to use his free will even when he decides in favor of evil? For a person to be able to use his freedom is a fundamental right based on his human dignity. An individual's freedom can be curtailed only if the exercise of his freedom is detrimental to human dignity and the freedom of others. Freedom would be no freedom at all if it were not the freedom to choose even what is wrong. It would violate the dignity of a man if we did not respect his freedom. One of the central duties of the state is to protect the liberties of all its citizens. Freedom of religion, of assembly and association, freedom of opinion, freedom to choose one's occupation, and so on. The freedom of one citizen is the limit to the freedom of another. Pope Benedict XVI would say, the martyrs of the early church died for their faith in that God who was revealed in Jesus Christ, and for this very reason they also died for freedom of conscience and the freedom to profess one's own faith, a profession that no state can impose but which instead can only be claimed with God's grace in freedom of conscience. A missionary church known for proclaiming her message to all peoples must necessarily work for the freedom of the faith. God bless you all.